Hello there and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I am Mike.
I am Rainbow.
And thank you to you guys for joining us for our Trends and Fads unit. Now, this month we will be taking a look at a very hard-working group of people who rarely, if ever, get the kind of attention and appreciation that they really deserve. I'm talking about family caregivers.
Right. These are the children, grandchildren, siblings, aunties, uncles, and cousins who take on the responsibility of caring for older members of their family. It's quite likely that there is someone in your family who does this kind of work. If grandma's sick and needs help at home, someone will have to be with her, right?
Exactly. Now, for families with money, they can always have the option of hiring someone from outside of their family to do this. They can hire a professional caregiver. That's fine, but that can actually work really well for everyone if you have the extra money.
Yeah, but hiring help from outside can be expensive, and not every family can afford to do it. That's where family caregivers come in. If a family member is willing to give up their time to help an elderly relative, they can be doing a great service for the other members of the family who can't be there.
Yes, that is true, but this work of caring for an older loved one can be challenging, stressful, and very tiring. So it's important to make sure that the caregiver is also getting the care and appreciation that they need and deserve.
That's right, and that's why in our Trends and Fads unit, we will be taking a look at some of the challenges of being a family caregiver,
as well as taking a look at a group that has been set up to help to support these kind people who give up their time to help others.
And finally, we will finish on part 3 with a little dialogue. But first, let's take a look at all of the new vocabulary that we will be talking about today in the first part of the unit. Let's check that out now. 今天的文章关于守护家庭照顾者，这些人叫做 family caregivers。当家中有 elderly 年长者需要照顾时，我们就必须要仰赖他们。先来看几个单字。第一个 care 关怀照顾是个名词。You can leave your children to my care. You can leave your children to my care. 你可以放心把小孩交给我照顾。第二个单字 society 社会是个名词。Every person is responsible in our society to maintain our environment. Every person is responsible in our society to maintain our environment. 社会的每个人都有责任维持环境。第三个单字 relative 亲戚是个名词。I can't wait to see my relatives in Vancouver in the summer. I can't wait to see my relatives in Vancouver in the summer. 我迫不及待暑假到温哥华去见我的亲戚。最后一个单字 daily 是个副词。Many people write down their emotions in their diaries daily. Many people write down their emotions in their diaries daily. 很多人每天都在日记里面记录他们的心情，这是非常好的抒发方式哦。好了，我们现在看完单字例句，一起回到课文中。
Taiwan is an aged society. That means there are more elderly than young people. Most elderly people can't look after themselves, so they depend on family members for care.
Explanation 1.
Okay, so part 1 of our Trends and Fads look at how family caregivers need care too Well, it begins with a few facts about Taiwan to show just how important the work of these family caregivers really is. The first sentence tells us, Taiwan is an aged society. Well, yes it is. And what exactly does that mean?
Ooh, we get an explanation in the following sentence. It reads, that means there are more elderly than young people. 在这边加个补充单字 aged 年老的，我们的社会已经老化，也就是 we have an aging 或是 aged society. Right, Taiwan has lots of older people and not as many young people. Well, the simple reason is that young people aren't having babies as much these days. 50 or 60 years ago, everybody has about 2, 3, 4 children or even more.
But these days, 1 and 2 child families are more common, and even more people simply aren't having any children at all. And this also means that there are fewer young people around to take care of the older folks who do need help. As it says next, most elderly people can't look after themselves. Yes, it can be hard for older people, especially into their 70s, 80s, 90s, and older than that, to do all of the things that they need to do in the day. Maybe they have trouble getting around, or their memory isn't so good. Well, we all need help sometimes, and often older people need a bit more help. So the question is, where does that help come from? We'll learn more after we pause briefly here so that Daphne can explain to us all about the first grammar point that we saw there in that last sentence.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 A looks after B， 意思是 A 照顾 B。Look 在这里是不及物动词，留意的意思。After 是介系词，在点点点之后，合在一起 A looks after B 就是 A 跟在 B 身后留意 B， 引申指 A 照顾 B。例如 A babysitter looks after Gina's daughter。有位保姆帮吉娜照顾女儿。
So, with more and more elderly people, but fewer and fewer young people to look after them, where will all of these caregivers come from?
As we mentioned in the introduction, some families with extra money can always hire a caregiver. This can be a perfectly good solution, and many professional caregivers can have wonderful and very close relationships with the families they work for. But the main point is, this is paid work. The caregivers need to make enough money to live on, and that can add up to quite a lot of money for the family that is paying them. And many families simply can't afford this extra cost.
So, as it says in the next sentence of the article, they depend on family members for care. And we will be finding out more about these family caregivers right after we return from this quick break. See you soon.
Those relatives do their jobs for years without pay or days off. Also, most of them only get about 4 hours of sleep daily. It's no surprise that they develop their own mental and health problems. Luckily, the Taiwan Association of Family Caregivers is there to help. The group fights for the rights of family caregivers in Taiwan. It's the first to do so.
Explanation 2.
Welcome back. Family caregivers are the topic of our article this month in Trends and Fads. So let's get back to the reading to see what we can learn about the work that family caregivers do, often for free, day in and day out. The next sentence of our article tells us this about family caregivers. It says, those relatives do their jobs for years without pay or days off. That's right. This is often a volunteer position. People do it just because it needs to be done. Someone has to do it, and it's the right thing to do. But often, no money is involved.
But in many cases, these family caregivers are giving up their own careers or goals. They see that in the family there is a greater need, and they decide to put themselves second to help others. It's a pretty amazing thing to do if you really think about it.
It sure is. And it can be difficult, demanding work too. You're not just hanging out at home all day long. No, no, no. As we learn from the next sentence, which tells us also, most of them only get about 4 hours of sleep daily.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 hours of sleep. Often because there are so many things to do. During the day, the caregiver will be spending most of his or her time taking care of the elderly person. So that leaves the evening hours, or a few other free moments of time during the day, to do all of the other chores around the house. Never mind doing things for themselves alone.
Right, and many elderly people don't sleep that much either. So if the older person wakes up at 5 or 6 a.m., then the caregiver has to wake up as well. And this has a big bad effect on the caregiver. It says in the next sentence, it's no surprise that they develop their own mental and health problems. Wow, that's really sad. 好，这些照顾者真的太棒了，他们贡献了非常多他们的时间去照顾家人，但是他们的心理和身体也会出现一些状况。Dedication 可以用来表示奉献。By working these long hours to help someone else, the caregiver can make themselves sick. It's an amazing dedication that these people put into their work, helping others.
It sure is. But the good news is that the family caregivers of Taiwan aren't alone. We'll learn about some of the people who are giving care to the caregivers right after we pause so that Daphne can tell us about the second grammar point of the day.
第二则文法是 It's no surprise that 加子句，意思是点点点不意外。句型中的 it 是虚主词，真正的主词是后方的名词子句 that 主词加动词。Surprise 在这里是名词，意思是令人惊讶、意外的事情。前方用形容词 no 没有的修饰，合在一起 It's no surprise that 就是不意外。例如 Gracie is the daughter of a supermodel. It's no surprise that she is so beautiful. 格雷西是名模的女儿，怪不得这么漂亮。
So by now, it's very clear that family caregivers have an extremely difficult and challenging job. And remember, many of these kind people are doing it for free. Since they are part of the family, they often don't ask for a salary like a professional caregiver would get.
Very true, but there are some amazing other folks out there who have made it their job to care for the caregivers. Let's finish today's article by reading a little bit about them. The next sentence tells us, luckily, the Taiwan Association of Family Caregivers is there to help. Okay, so this is a charity that exists just to give help and support to family caregivers. What a fantastic idea.
It really is, isn't it? And not only do they help the caregivers, they fight for their rights too. We read, the group fights for the rights of family caregivers in Taiwan. And there's an interesting fact to finish. It says, it's the first to do so. Wow! So until the Taiwan Association of Family Caregivers came along, family caregivers in Taiwan had no other organization looking out for them. They were all on their own. 在这个组织出现之前，家庭照顾者只能照顾自己，但是幸好有个慈善机构出现帮助他们了。补充一下 ，organization 组织 ，charity 慈善机构 ，support 支持。
That's exactly right. And in tomorrow's article, we'll be learning about just a few of the many wonderful ways in which this organization helps out family caregivers all across Taiwan. Please do come back to join us for that. Until then, though, bye-bye.
Family caregivers need care too. Taiwan is an aged society. That means there are more elderly than young people. Most elderly people can't look after themselves, so they depend on family members for care. Those relatives do their jobs for years without pay or days off. Also, most of them only get about 4 hours of sleep daily. It's no surprise that they develop their own mental and health problems. Luckily, the Taiwan Association of Family Caregivers is there to help. The group fights for the rights of family caregivers in Taiwan. It's the first to do so.
English in Action.
Hello, I'm Shane. English in Action.
可是我们刚要进来之前呢，刚有一个怪北北跟你搭讪呢。
哼，在我身上那很常见啊。
你说怪北北喜欢？
不是，就是有人搭讪我，漂亮的女生嘛，也是帅的男生都有。
OK，
不是北北。
Anyway， 那我们就直接进入对话咯。
Okay. I've been going to the gym for 1 month already, but I don't see any results.
That's nothing out of the ordinary. It can take several months to get results. Don't give up, fatty.
Hey, don't call me.
Fatty.
These things take time, okay? Don't make fun of me.
Yeah, I mean, good job.
Okay, that's nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, ordinary 其实就是非常平常的事情。
对。
那 nothing out of 就是没有什么特别的。
对，不是特别的不 ordinary。
所以就是完全不是很特别，就是非常平常。
对，就是正常。对，就是很正常。Okay, or you can say that's really common.
Common 也是很常见的意思，所以就非常平常，很常见呢。
Yeah. The last one comes from golf.
OK， 所以最后呢，这个片语就是来自高尔夫球的用语。
Yeah, that's par for the course.
OK， 所以 course 其实就是高尔夫的那个球场嘛。
Yeah.
那 par 就是你可能打几杆的那个杆数，对不对？
对啊，就是 how many does it take for an ordinary person？ 对，所以就是正常，如果要打这个应该是 par 4。就是要打10次才会进那个。
OK， 所以就是要在4杆以内把球打进洞那样。
没错。So,
Okay.
you know, if you're having a little bit of problems with your English, that's nothing out of the ordinary. But you have us, so
考门就对了。That's nothing out of the ordinary.
That's nothing out of the ordinary.
That's really common.
That's really common.
That's par for the course.
That's par for the course.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们1分钟的单元。在这1分钟的时间里面，我们要复习4个单字，还会造句练习。同学们，您都准备好了没？1分钟计时开始。第一个单字呢，叫做照顾、关怀，叫做什么呢？叫做 care。 care， 我们常用 take care 叫别人保重，好好照顾自己。你也可以用 take care of somebody 表达照顾某人。Ryan often takes care of her baby sister after school. Ryan 常常在放学后照顾他年幼的妹妹。第二单字叫做社会，社会叫做 society。Society. Each society has its own customs. 每个社会都有各自的习俗。第三个单字呢是亲属亲戚，叫做 relative。relative 我们可以用 distant relative 来表达远房亲戚。OK，a distant relative came to visit us， 有一位远房亲戚来拜访我们。好，第四个单字呢叫做每日或是每天，它是当副词，其实它也可以当形容词啊。这字就是 daily， 就是 day day 去掉 i 再加 ly。去掉 y 再加 ily daily。OK，Megan drinks a glass of milk daily。Megan 每天都会喝一杯牛奶。好，太好啦！我们在1分钟之内已经完成任务喽，同学们表现很棒哎，在家记得多多复习哦。我们下次见，拜拜。